Welcome to Review Rewind, the show where a couple of friends watch movies of old and aim to figure out if the reviewers were spot on or a little off. I'm Mike.
And I'm Tristan.
And this week we are talking about Batman Begins, even though that stuff doesn't actually really happen in this movie.
What?
The eerie Hans Zimmerman kind of.
Oh, right.
Even though he did the music for it,
Mm-hmm.
he and someone else did the music. This one was far more cinematic than the experimental tension that the next one brings. But I for whatever reason, I guess that became so iconic that when I was watching this, I was just waiting for it, and then I'm like, this music's very cinematic.
Yeah.
Oh wait, does Batman Begins have the like the? Anyway, we'll get there.
No,
we'll get there. What's your bright spot, buddy?
Hi. So I think we talked about it a few episodes ago, but our friend who is out of the hospital, I got to see him this weekend. It was great to hang out with him. We went and watched Lilo and Stitch. It was an experience, but it was just fun to hang out with them. So
that one will be on our list next year. I think one of the things we should do is maybe not a big summer series or anything, but we should look at some of Disney's cartoons and then their live action remakes and just go, why did they do this?
Yeah. Was this worth it?
Yeah. Was it worth it? That would be a great, couple times a year. It's like, welcome to was it worth it?
Yeah.
And there's lots of movies that did that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so you hung out with him. It was a good time. I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear him out and about and stuff like that. So that's awesome.
Yeah. How about you? What's your bright spot?
I'll be a petty bitch. It's fine. This delightful Mexican Coke, because it's my small petty way to buck the system, Yeah. Especially with June. Did everything happen on June 7th? Is it the Saturday or the Friday? Did it happen on my anniversary? Oh no. But there's some chaos happening in LA, my hometown, and I don't currently live in LA. I technically former suburb of LA.
Well, actually,
isn't that a game show?
Actually, brought to you by Dropout, not a sponsor, but hey, Dropout.
I mean, they could. We could. I feel like we could fit into their.
Sam. Hire us.
Honestly, you don't even have to pay us. Like, but you could.
Yeah.
Anyway, outside of that, I got 2 more days until. Anyway, I went real off. Stuff was happening in LA. Some racist stuff against Latinos and Mexicans, and I'm Mexican, so. This is my way to. It's also delicious. Like,
yeah.
Oh man, Mexican Coke is so good. Is it the sugar?
I think it's the sugar.
I also think it's just the mixture.
Yeah, I don't really like Coke.
But Mexican Coke is like really good, right? I don't like Coke either.
Had it in a long time, but I remember the last time I had it, I was like, oh man, this is worth the hype.
Did we talk about McDonald's Coke?
Maybe I got to get myself one. I don't remember, man.
Because the only reason I say that is, if you've ever noticed that McDonald's Coke and Diet Coke taste different, it is because apparently they're the only ones. I don't know if they're the only ones, but they have for a long time had a contract with Coke where they can make their own syrup.
Oh, interesting.
And Coke has to approve it, but it is their syrup. And so like that's why it tastes different. Because I was going to say, I really don't care for Coke or canned Coke. I love a fountain drink. if it comes from a fountain. And then I was thinking about like who has some of the best. I'm like, oh yeah, McDonald's is really good. And I was like, oh yeah.
Oh, that's why their Sprite hits different too.
Yeah, I think I might be with all their products, except for the High C. Their High C gives me like acid reflux. Like I drink it and my esophagus like gets tight. It feels like it's like this is poison. Don't do it.
Get it out.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Credits. Directed by Christopher Nolan.
Nice.
Produced by Larry Franco, Charles Roven, Emma Thompson, not Thomas. That's right. Is she married to Christopher Nolan?
Is she? Looking it up. I
might be wrong, but I thought his wife. Yeah,
correct.
I was like, his wife is a producer, and I think I remember making the misstep of reading her last name wrong and going, he's married to the actor? No. And then going, oh, no. She's a producer, though. Screenwriters. Of course, the characters, Bob Kane and Bill Finger. Written by David S. Goyer and Christopher Nolan. I might be wrong, but I think this is the first. I know I'm wrong. I know that can't be right because that's a stupid idea. I think this is. Let me see. I feel like my voice disappeared there for a second. Okay, yeah. Demonic Arcade, The Substitute, Puppet Master. Okay, he wrote Blade.
David
S. Goyer. Yeah. He did the Blade series. And then he did a bunch of other stuff that is B movies, maybe you can consider them such. But this was his first big, like ultra big movie. He also did Jumper, Dark Knight, and then Dark Knight Rises, and then
Ghost Rider.
Oh, he did Ghost Rider?
Spirit of Vengeance.
Oh no.
I think we give a lot of
Should we put that one on the list next year? Because there's a couple things that I find very strange. One, I don't remember hating that movie. Because I feel like it let Nick Cage be like crazy Nick Cage. And that's always good. It might not be always, popular, but I feel like it's always good.
I honestly don't remember much about that movie. But I do remember that it was crazy Nick Cage, unlike the first one. But I was going to say, we give a lot of credit for the failures of
the DC
EU to people like Zack Snyder and so on and so forth. But I think we got to talk about David because he's been involved every step.
Yeah. Well, not every step, but certainly the foundation of what made it bad.
Yeah.
I also have a lot of issues with how much people are still giving him things. Because looking at most everything, his stuff isn't particularly like super enjoyed. I feel like he's still riding the coattails of the Nolan verse.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a couple good things very, very few, but a couple good things sprinkled in here. And then everything else is like, well, that one wasn't really good.
Yeah. And there are a few that are very much, oh no.
Oh, he did that?
Oh, that one's a train wreck.
So I will give him Foundation on Apple TV.
I've heard good things.
It's good.
Yeah.
And it might be something that, like, I haven't read the books. I like all of that stuff. I started reading one of the books, haven't finished it. But like, so I don't have that history of comparing.
So you started your foundation on it, but then never really.
Yeah. But from someone who's watching it from the outside, it's been a good show. So I will give him credit for that one. They've done a good job.
Also, we will be the first to admit that we certainly have moments of maybe placing blame or focusing. How about focusing blame on certain people involved that may not have been the most or even the most at fault or even at fault for certain things. So I want to give at least that understanding that we might have our prejudice set that might be pointing at the wrong people.
There's a lot of layers.
Yeah.
Because you have, for a movie, I think we talked about this before, for a movie, the person in charge of the vision is the director.
Right.
For a TV show, a person in charge of the direction is the screenwriter. So that's a little bit of a different thing. So like a showrunner is actually like the person who wrote it is the head writer, like all that stuff. So it's a very different thing. That's why TV shows have a bunch of different directors usually. But it's like there's the same writer who's the head writer every time.
Right.
So there's a lot of layers. You have the producers, the people who are giving you money, who have a lot of influence over what's happening. You have the the company behind it that is like, you've got the executives there telling you what needs to happen. So there's a lot of layers. I think the most ridiculous is when we blame like an actor for the choices that a director or writer made. Thinking of what's his name?
Steven Seagal?
No, Lloyd. Why can't I think of the kid from Phantom Menace?
That everyone hated on him, and it destroyed his life. No, he didn't do. And I think I talked about it on this podcast with Joseph, but he didn't do bad. All of his things that happened, he was just playing a kid, and it was just poor writing on George Lucas's part.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault. Even watching the movie, it's very clear that it wasn't his fault.
Jake Lloyd, that's his name.
Jake Lloyd, yes.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of layers. There's a lot of people who can be. Sometimes the actor can be the person who ruined a movie. But
yeah, like Jared Leto.
Yes.
He ruins every movie except for the ones he does good on. I don't know.
Why do they keep putting him in things? I don't understand.
He's riding the coattails. I think we do. I think we are living in a generation, or not a generation, but an era of coattail riders who did something good, genuinely good once, and movie execs. I don't know. Whoever's making the final decision was like, "Oh, I remember that thing Jared Leto was in. Give him more money." And you stop and you go, that was 30 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting way off topic here.
Yeah.
Should we reel it in?
Speaking of layers, production company, DC Comics, Warner Brothers, Syncopy. Bonaventura Pictures. Really? Okay. Rated PG-13 for some thematic elements, disturbing images, and intense action violence.
What does some thematic elements mean?
I do believe that when they say thematic elements, they are speaking about content that may be more mature for things that they're talking about, or like you can have a movie that has no violence in it per se, but you can have violent themes throughout.
Subject matter in a film that may be objectionable, but doesn't fit into traditional categories like violence, sex, or language.
Right.
So kind of how we were talking about with Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff there is thematic elements.
Yes. Or just really horny.
What was, and to get it out of the way,
our button?
There's no horny in this one.
No.
What'd you say?
Was it? Too horny.
Too horny.
That was it. I was like, we made a thing. Genre: action, fantasy, adventure, maybe drama. Come on. Original language: English. Release date: June 15th, 2005. Budget: $150 million. Grossed in the U.S. $206 and grossed worldwide $375 million. Not as much as I thought it would have.
Yeah, I would have expected that to be more.
Starring Christian Bale, Michael Caine, Liam Neeson, Katie Holmes, Gary Oldman, the old Gary Olds, Cillian Murphy, Tom Wilkinson, Rutger Hauer. Who the hell is he?
Oh, he's Earl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like,
his name is familiar, but I cannot place who he was. Ken Watanabe and Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
And now we transition into the recap rewind, where we rewind and we recap the film. Man, never realized how much of a tongue twister that is.
Yeah.
Well, since I destroyed the genre and the bit last week, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to you, and hopefully maybe you don't have to, but maybe we can refocus back to the original intent of the thing.
I don't know. This we'll see how this turns out.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I really just wanted it to be one sentence. Would you have been mad at me?
A little, but it would have been funny. I'm not gonna lie, I would have laughed.
I made a sentence that's definitely a run-on sentence. It still exists here, so I'll let you be the judge.
It would have been really difficult to do it, though.
Yeah. Why do we fall? To create traumatic memories that will lead to more traumatic memories that will eventually lead to embracing that trauma in such a way that we inflict new traumas on other people to find some form of therapy for our own brokenness.
I had to.
There we go. If you don't know, Batman is more than the world's greatest detective. He's the world's worst therapy patient. But what do you expect from a man who lives in a city where the people behind crime are literal fractured representations of his own identity? In Batman 1989, he faced off against the Joker, a mirror of chaos embodying the cyclical trauma and duality of his struggle to reconcile justice with vengeance. In Batman Returns, Batman battles the Penguin and Catwoman, scarred outcasts like himself, revealing his fear of emotional detachment and moral compromise. Batman Forever centers on his conflict with Two-Face and the Riddler, manifestations of fractured identity and inner conflict. And in Batman and Robin, Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy distort grief, love, and science, forcing Bruce to confront loss, ego, and the ethical weight of power. Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins returns us to the source, the moment fear first defined Bruce's life. The fear is rooted in a traumatic childhood experience when young Bruce falls into an abandoned well, breaking his arm and being swarmed by bats, disturbed by his fall. As a result, he develops a strong fear of bats. Later, Bruce attends the opera with his parents, where the performance features people dressed as bats. They likely knew this, and they still chose to bring him along without addressing his trauma.
He also had a fracture, like a small fracture, but a fracture. Mm-hmm. And they were like, come on, buddy.
The opera. This leads Bruce to want to leave early. His father, Thomas Wayne, agrees, not wanting to make Bruce feel more uncomfortable than he already is. They exit through the side door into an alley where they're confronted by Joe Chill, a man who certainly does not live up to his name. Chill then shoots Mr. and Mrs. Wayne while robbing them. Years later, Bruce, Christian Bale, returns to Gotham from university to attend Joe Chill's parole hearing. Chill has agreed to testify against Carmine Falcone. Falcone. Is it Falcone?
It should be Falcone.
Falcone. Gotham's most powerful crime boss in exchange for early release. Bruce plans to kill Chill, but is beaten to it by a woman acting on Falcone's orders. The part that's confusing is that there's like a Mulroney and a Falcone, and so it gets real confusing.
Yeah.
This act of violence forces Bruce to confront the cycle of vengeance he's about to enter. He argues with Rachel Dawes, Katie Holmes, now an assistant district attorney, his former best friend as a kid, who scolds him for believing revenge equals justice. She shows him the decay of the city's justice system and challenges him to actually fight for change instead of feeding his grief. Shaken and disillusioned, Bruce disappears from Gotham. Years pass. Bruce lives abroad, drifting through the criminal underworld in an attempt to understand how criminals think. Eventually, he's imprisoned. During a fight, he is approached by a man named Henry Ducard, Liam Neeson, who offers him a purpose. Ducard represents the League of Shadows, an ancient organization that believes in restoring balance through the destruction of corrupt civilizations. Bruce climbs a mountain carrying a symbolic blue flower, reaching a monastery where he trains under Ducard and Ra's al Ghul in Watanabe, where he hones his mind and body, learning to master fear, deception, and combat. But Bruce is told that the League's next target is destroying Gotham City, and he's then asked to execute a criminal as a final test. Bruce refuses because if there's one line he won't cross, it's murder, at least not directly. His idea of justice diverges from the League's philosophy of total annihilation. He burns down the temple and escapes, saving Ducard's life in the process. Back in Gotham, Bruce returns to a city overrun by organized crime, corporate corruption, and political complacency. That was a tongue twister. He returns with Alfred. Or reunites. He reunites with Alfred, Michael Caine, his loyal guardian, and begins reconstructing his life, getting back into Wayne Manor and establishing the foundations for what will be the Batcave and his future as Batman. He reconnects with Wayne Enterprises and gains the trust of Lucius Fox, Morgan Freeman, who helps him discreetly access prototype military equipment, including armor, a glider, and a tumbler vehicle. Bruce constructs the Batcave beneath his manor. Meanwhile, Dr. Jonathan Crane, Cillian Murphy, is a psychiatrist at Arkham Asylum. He's revealed to be working for Falcone and secretly developing a fear toxin. He uses his position to declare inmates insane, including eventually Falcone himself, and tests the toxin on his vulnerable patients. Crane wears what we find to be a scarecrow mask while administering the drug and weaponizing fear itself. Batman makes his appearance, disrupting Falcone's drug shipment at the docks. He uses the symbol of the bat to strike fear into the criminals, reclaiming the fear that once crippled him. Falcone is publicly humiliated and later, well, why is that sentence there? And is left on the, hold on, sorry.
Oh, wait.
Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to leave in this mistake. Falcone is publicly humiliated and left on a giant light. Batman continues into his investigation and further learns that Crane's fear toxin is being laced into Gotham's water supply. When Crane sprays him with the drug, Bruce is overwhelmed by hallucinations, but is rescued by Alfred and Lucius, who synthesizes an antidote. And Bruce begins to uncover the larger conspiracy. During Bruce's birthday celebration, Ducard reappears and reveals that he is the real Ra's al Ghul. The man Bruce once knew was a decoy. Ra's explains that the League of Shadows orchestrated in the past Gotham's economic collapse and now intends to finish what they started. Their goal is to destroy Gotham entirely, believing the city's corruption cannot be saved. And they kind of, maybe sort of killed the Waynes. That was a little confusing.
We can talk about this.
They plan to vaporize the toxins in the water supply using a stolen microwave emitter, triggering mass hysteria. As the League sets Arkham Asylum free and chaos erupts across the Narrows, Batman races to stop them. He teams up with Sergeant James Gordon, Gary Oldman, arming him with the Tumbler Batmobile to destroy a section of the monorail and prevent the toxin from reaching the city's center. Batman faces Ra's aboard the elevated train, and Bruce refuses to kill him, but also refuses to save him. Semantics. Allowing the train to crash with Ra's still inside. The weapon is destroyed, and Gotham is spared. Bruce publicly reclaims control of Wayne Enterprises, appointing Lucius Fox as CEO to ensure ethical leadership. Wayne Manor begins its reconstruction after being burned down. Rachel tells Bruce she cannot be with him while he wears the mask. She's waiting for the man he once was to return. Finally, Gordon unveils the bat signal and warns of a new criminal rising in Gotham, a man who leaves behind a calling card. A calling card with a Joker. Bruce accepts this new role as Gotham's protector, not out of vengeance, but to restore balance to the city that made him.
That was a great recap.
Yeah, except for the middle part.
Shit happens. Yeah.
Like most Christopher Nolan.
Did that all really happen in this? Because that felt way more concise than some of this movie sometimes.
I think I left things out. Maybe. Like as I was reading that, I was like, oh wait, no, that happened and this happened and that thing happened.
Oh no.
So
yeah.
Like a Christopher Nolan movie, there's a lot that happens and maybe too much happens.
A lot that happens, but not necessarily a lot of actual story happening.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's one of those weird. Yeah, it's a Christopher Nolan thing.
Christopher Nolan likes his character development,
but he also like maybe it's a Goyer thing too. People are weird in Christopher Nolan movies. So character development is odd because the people themselves are a little odd.
Mm.
And that falls under the dialogue and choices that people make. I don't know. There's a lot in this movie that works. It's the curse of Christopher Nolan in that when you watch a movie and you're just dead inside, no. But when you watch a Christopher Nolan movie with just the goal of watching and appreciating a film,
mm-hmm.
It's always good.
Mm-hmm.
It's always good. But when you watch a Christopher Nolan movie with an ounce of investigation,
mm-hmm.
you start to pull the seams and the garment falls apart.
Yeah.
The memory foam fabric of the cape falls apart. I was like, how do I tie this in? And we will talk about that because I only have one question that I kind of wrote down that was a character development and was present and kind of enforced within the world of the story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually know why though. And that is whether it's a plot hole or just didn't get explained the right way or I missed it. One of the two. It could be my own fault. One of the two. I said three things. Alrighty. So just for my own knowledge, I want to do a couple things since we started about it. What did you think of the movie overall?
So overall, I think, like you said, it's a good movie to just like watch. There are some things once you start getting into it.
Yeah,
I think it's so different from what we just came from.
Yeah, this is
dramatically
different. If Tim Burton was the one who was trying to make it, gothic,
mm-hmm.
and then Joel Schumacher was trying to make it campy, in this appearance, Christopher Nolan was really trying to give it feet in reality and really trying to plant those feet on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Even though there's lots of things there's things that exist in the world of Batman that just can't really exist in our world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to kind of eliminate that. You have to allow the suspension of disbelief to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie's trying to say, no, you don't have to suspend disbelief. But then also throws a bunch of things in that it's like, no, maybe suspend it a little.
You don't have to suspend disbelief that much.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, I think it's a great movie to look at. I think it's visually very impactful. I think the visual storytelling is really good. I just think when you get into the writing, the dialogue, some of the character development, and then the plot as a whole, the synchronicity, the
what?
I don't know. There's a word in there that is
synchronicity.
Yeah.
Is that a word? Is that what you're trying to say?
I think that's what I'm trying to. Synchronicity. Don't fail me now, AI. Refers to the meaningful coincidences that happen in our lives where events seem related but lack causal connection. That's like Christopher Nolan. That may have not been the word I was looking for, but
I think this movie. Sorry to interrupt your thought.
No, it's okay. I lost it.
It's okay. I think it makes sense why this was the revival of DC movies. Was there? Am I missing something?
Here's the only thing. I don't know if this is the revival of DC movies.
Why do you say that?
I don't think this revived DC. I think that this was Christopher Nolan's version of a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Which of all the superheroes that kind of exist, Batman, even though it is very ridiculous, feels the most plausible because it's just a guy in a suit.
Mm-hmm.
And so this just feels like the Christopher Nolan version of that.
Yeah.
Not strictly to open the door to DC movies.
Oh, yeah. No, I completely agree with that. I don't think that they made this with the intent of like what's going to come from it.
Right.
But I think the existence of this movie, the creation of this movie is what inspired what came next.
Okay, that's fair. That is very fair.
And it makes sense why. Because like when I was younger, when this movie came out, like it was awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Alrighty. Moving right along. We go into music by Hans Zimmer and James Newton Howard.
Yep.
And they have got, are these Greek names? Latin names? I don't know.
They are
Italian names?
I think that first one, Vespertilio, is bat, means bat. But what, like, is it Latin? Vespertilio. Oh, that was too many letters.
Vespertilio.
So that is the Latin word for bat.
Oh.
So I think these are Latin.
Got it.
Eptisicus. Yeah, they're all different names they're all the Latin names for bats. Different types of bats.
I don't know how I feel about that. It actually kind of annoys me. Anyway, so we're going to just listen to the first one real quick because my brain is not remembering correctly. Is that like the wings?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to fast forward a little.
Great fast forward.
that's the Batman theme.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing about all of these soundtracks. I'm going to say it again next time, too. I low-key hate these soundtracks.
For this trilogy?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the music does the job.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like a lot of the times it's either just kind of random noise, which in the context sometimes is building tension and does an excellent job at what it's supposed to do, or it's just this like there's like not a lot to hold on to.
Mm-hmm. This does not have the like the get stuck in your head impact. Like it's not. This is kind of from an era, maybe the beginning of this era of superhero movies not having like a recognizable theme for the most part. Like I don't think we really got one until the Avengers. Like everything else is just kind of this vague noise that is happening. This is very atmospheric.
Yeah, hold on. Even with the melody, it's outlining the chord a little bit, but
there are some themes that are happening in here, but they're very subtle.
Very subtle.
I think this is better overall than the Inception soundtrack.
Yeah,
Like
I'd agree with that.
It felt like it fit in, but it's so much more about the atmosphere that it's creating. And it's so much more about like, hey, this sound is like the cape or the wings. And like, it's trying to capture the atmosphere and to, like, I guess track what's happening, like create that tension, like you said.
But it creates tension. It creates motion. Here's the reason I hate it. I hate it because none of this is really memorable.
It's really nothing.
but it does the job.
It does the job. But it I would not say that there is a theme for this Batman.
Right. But yeah, it did the job. I just don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Not to, and that's not to say that something more cinematic couldn't have done the job.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's annoying because, you know, he has the trilogy, Hans Zimmer in particular. Man, he did The Lion King.
Mm-hmm.
And that music is so good.
Mm-hmm.
This just feels...
I think it's coming from that perspective of we want this to feel more grounded and more real and like that. And by doing that, let's create an atmosphere, not distract people with
really good music.
Like music. I don't know. Like it's interesting. And it's very different from other things that we've seen Hans Zimmer do.
Right. Yeah. Visually, what'd you think?
Visually, I mean, like most Christopher Nolan movies, it's good to look at.
It's a good looking movie. It's a good looking movie.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a complaint that I didn't really have before, but I do. Maybe this. I don't want to say this is the start of it, but Americans have a bad relationship with fight choreography.
Mm-hmm.
Where. Well, I can't say that. Westerners.
Yeah.
Because he's British. Not the best relationship with fight choreography, because we're supposed to believe that he's a good fighter and that he's taken on all these people. But every fight scene is very chaotic camera-wise. The camera's shaking a lot. It's overly zoomed in. It doesn't allow you to really sense the pacing, the impact. I was just really noticing that with the fight at the docks, that it just, you couldn't really grasp the impact of the hits. It's interesting that
you say that, because to me, that is the only scene where the fight choreography and the camera choreography makes sense.
No. Everything until all of them are fighting against him.
Oh, right. Okay.
Everything building up to it is super good, but also notice it's supposed to be, sneaking, or it's supposed to be like mysterious and borderline horror in how it's presenting this moment. But then when they're all fighting him at the same time, it's supposed to have at least moved on to he's fighting these guys by himself. But it's so chaotic. It's really zoomed in. You can kind of see his figure moving around, but it doesn't really look like he's hitting anyone. Like it doesn't.
It's just like he's moving his arm, and somebody's like, ugh.
And that's what I mean, where the hits don't really have the impact. The fight doesn't. The first grab. So the first time that Batman grabs a guy and pulls him into the container looks so fast and so violent that it really brings up the intensity. That awesome. That is fantastic. But the actual fighting. And then when he's fighting the ninjas, they're doing the same thing with the camera work. You don't really know what's happening. The impacts don't feel that good. If these are supposed to be ninjas, they're kind of clumsy and they don't really know what the hell they're doing.
I think so. For me, if the dock scene was the only scene where that type of camera work was happening,
it might be forgiven because it feels stylistic.
Yeah, because we're still trying to hide. We're not revealing Batman yet.
That's fair.
Right. So we want it to be chaotic because these guys were coming from the perspective of the goons.
Right.
Not from Batman. So we're
right. Like, which that's
we're
good.
Scared.
Yeah.
We're like getting all of that. And so we're not seeing who this figure is until he pulls Falcone out of the car and he says, "I'm Batman."
Yeah. Who the hell are you?
That's the reveal. But yeah, they continued to do that throughout, which makes it less impactful. And I agree with that.
Yeah. Outside of the fighting, though, a lot of the visuals were really cool. The city, what'd you think of Gotham?
Gotham was much more of just a regular city.
I sort of didn't understand it.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Is there a literal underworld of Gotham?
No, there's a Narrows, which I'm assuming is they kind of built this island early.
No, I mean when Rachel, like, they're talking in the car and then Rachel like turns off and then goes down.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden it's like dark and they're outside this restaurant and it feels like all of a sudden they're underground.
Yes, there is. We have those in LA. Really? We have areas in LA that are like that. And it is simply the city built up to a point. A lot of those roads would probably lead to loading points for the bigger buildings. There's a lot of that.
I haven't spent much time in the city, apparently.
It's okay. I don't know like how those came to be. I don't know the history of them. I do know that they exist because I've driven through them.
Interesting.
But yes, it does feel like it's underground because in a lot of ways it is. It's a roadway, a street, an access point built under the city, and it's usually built for bigger trucks to kind of make the turns and everything without having to disturb the traffic. Utilities, garbage, all that kind of stuff. This movie was portraying it as something of the slums, where people. So there are definitely parts of the city that do go underground like that. I don't know if this one is, but I do know that the next movie was almost exclusively Chicago. So I don't know if that is a tenet of Chicago. But I know we as in LA as a metropolis, they do have areas that are very similar to that. So they do exist.
All right.
It is not the total
you learn something new every day.
Yeah. I feel like that strikes a chord with people who really traveled in a big city and lived in it and stuff. But then if you haven't, it may seem kind of the restaurant is weird. I don't know if if they would have just like a random Joe Schmo bar restaurant in that kind of area. Couldn't tell you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what was confusing about it for you?
I don't understand what good parts of this town or bad parts of this town exist. So we're trying to, I didn't do any of it. They're trying to show that the Narrows is kind of the slummy part of town. Where does Gordon live? Does he live in the Narrows? Because his house looked really weird.
Yeah.
Are they trying to say that he's poor too? Like his just looked like a 2-bedroom apartment. I don't know. Which
Maybe.
Nothing against that. It just the construction of it felt similar to the Narrows, and it just made me confused of what does Gotham proper feel like, because we don't get that with Bruce, because Bruce is in I don't know, Martha's Vineyard. I don't know what it's called. I don't know, some area of New York City or Chicago or whatever, a suburb that is strictly mansions. I don't know. I've never been to those sections, but I know they exist, and that's where he's at. What is Gotham proper?
Yeah, we see,
because we're supposed to be in Gotham proper a lot, and then the Narrows are supposed to be this like
an island,
but it feels like the bad cop Flass and Gordon are almost exclusively in a Narrows type area.
Yeah.
I don't know what Gotham proper is.
Yeah, I think this in a lot of ways similar to the 89 Batman, where it's just kind of like, okay, we've got certain sets that just feel like sets, and it doesn't make sense where they are. There's a lot of alleys. There's a lot of alleys. And a lot of alleys, and it just like those things that aren't the establishing cities shot where we've like CG'd the Wayne Tower or the thing. Like everything else is kind of the same.
Yeah. Also, I know this is jumping the gun, but I'll say it now. They fully give up on that whole Wayne Tower as the center of the city by the second movie.
Yeah,
I honestly forgot how central that was.
Yeah, the Wayne Tower being in the center and the monorail. Like, I feel like that disappears as well.
Well, they show a raised train in the second one, but not the giant monorail system. They just show the train that's in Chicago. So I don't think those can qualify as the same. I think those are different systems.
Yeah, it feels really weird. I mean, I know we're talking about a future movie, but it feels really weird that the Gotham that they established in this movie is not the same Gotham in the next two movies.
Yeah.
Because where are the Narrows in The Dark Knight Rises when they blow up all the bridges? Like, where is it in that?
I do think they kind of wave away a little bit. In that, what's it called? The Narrows essentially just becomes
Arkham. Yeah. I think that happens in the second one.
Yeah. And then extended in the third one because they blow the doors off of.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
It is a little confusing. It is a little confusing and gets more confusing as it continues because
yeah. I think compared to the next two, I like that this Gotham has some characteristics to it, though, like the monorail, like where Wayne Tower is established.
It feels like a fictional town.
Mm-hmm.
The next one just feels like Chicago.
As we go forward, it just
So Gotham's. It doesn't feel like a character as much as the first rendition of Batman.
There.
Yeah. Alrighty. Special effects. Anything? It's not bad.
It's not bad. There was nothing that was glaringly horrible.
Right.
And I think it was blended in well enough. There, like, nothing stood out. Nothing in a good or bad way. It was just kind of like it's fine.
There are some. I don't know if this falls under special effects. There are some costume things that don't make any sense at all.
Okay.
First, well, let's talk about the things that we liked about the costume. Because we started out with rubber suit, and then it evolved to rubber suit with nipples. And now we're on this that is essentially a rubber suit, but is kind of explained away of why it's like that.
Right.
So they get credit for at least explaining the suit to make us go, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The outline of the muscles still doesn't make sense, because even when they were describing it, I'm like, why would you build a suit like that?
For flexibility, obviously.
Yeah, totally. It also kind of loses its I guess you could say strength when he like bends his arm slightly and a crease develops in the rubber.
Oh yeah.
So you look at it and you go, your shoulder looks a little weird there, buddy.
Yeah, this one from certain angles looked really cool, and from other angles was like, ooh, that's a little rough.
Yeah.
I think this Batman feels intimidating.
Yeah, I'll give you that. They
Like,
did a good job of that. Yeah.
The black that they use for his eyes and the way that it just perfectly blends into his mask, like all of that felt really good, and like it felt intimidating and scary, and he gave the vibe that I think the first one was trying to have, but this one did that so much better.
Yeah, I like the utility belt and the
grapple.
the grappling gun.
Yeah.
They had at least explained that it's like gas powered, so that's how it like works. And that his belt has like a motor in it.
Yeah.
Okay. That about sums up the good. How do you have a button remote control on the bottom of your foot and it never goes off? Because the button is on the bottom. It is not facing the shoe.
It's not like facing up.
He turns it and immediately pushes the floor side, the ground side of the button. Immediately, that makes no sense.
Maybe it requires both sides to be pushed. I don't know.
Maybe it requires the button to be disengaged to activate, kind of like those little pieces of plastic that they put in toys that you have to disconnect and then the battery works. But also, that's me explaining something that should be very obvious.
Yeah, because the thing I was going to be like is when you have a lighter and you have to like push the one side and click the other side.
Yeah, but
again, we're making up excuses for something.
The fact that that button couldn't have just been in his belt makes no sense at all. I guess they made a point. Here's the thing that's very funny to me. They made a point of showing him open the utility belt canister, like open it to show that he has nice little storage and stuff. And then they never once show this guy ever using it.
Yeah, we see him put it on his belt, but
you don't see him. You don't know where the batarangs are. You don't know, like, why wouldn't that button be in there?
Yeah.
You never see him go and it like lift open. He didn't push a button, it lift open, and then he like could use it. So that was just a useless. It's one of those things that happens in movies, and I don't know if it's a Christopher Nolan thing. I off the top of my head, I can't recall, but where there's something there to explain why something is being used or how something is being used, but then you never actually show it in practice. And so you go, well, why even have that moment?
Yeah.
Just don't show me that cartridge. Just show me the belt. I could have figured it out. I wouldn't have. I don't think I would have seen that and go, you know what? Never once did I see that belt had pockets.
Yeah.
So that button on the bottom of his shoe made no sense to me. Not one.
Interesting. I didn't even think about it, but yeah, that is weird.
And then another thing that doesn't make sense. It's not a costume thing, but we'll talk about the Batmobile. What'd you think of the Batmobile?
The Batmobile is an interesting one. It does not fall under traditional Batmobile.
It's neither Bat nor Mobile.
Yeah. It's cool.
It's a tank mobile. Yeah, like maybe it does have some Dark Knight Returns elements to it, but Dark Knight Returns being the Frank Miller comic speaking about Batman being old and cynical and not Batman anymore, but then coming back because I think he had a tank.
Yeah,
like he straight up had a tank.
It's very tank. Yeah. So
there's a little bit of that, but we're also supposed to believe this is like year one Batman. So the idea of just right out the bat, he has a giant tank feels a little. It makes his vigilantism more illegal. Because like that's not street legal. It's very dangerous. Even if he was just driving the speed limit, I don't think it's the size of a lane.
It's interesting because from a perspective of he basically just utilized all of this military tech that has been archived.
Right.
Like, it makes more sense for there to be a tank than what we've normally seen as a Batmobile. Like, that kind of car doesn't make sense in what they've told us. But maybe it would have made more sense for him for this movie to have some sort of
like a motorcycle.
He takes one of his old cars from the mansion and they modify it or something.
I guess they had to bring in the. Okay, so now we're talking about the Batmobile. So things that didn't make sense while being in the Batmobile. Before I go to the most egregious, when he is in the car chase with the cops, he turns his lights out.
Mm-hmm.
But then his technique is he just hangs out there for like 15 seconds and then tries to pass them up and fails. None of that made sense. That wasn't a good tactic. Nothing was good about that. What would have made most sense was for him to like hit the brakes, turn around and get into the other side of the freeway, do something that drive in the forest. You're in a tank.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he doesn't actually like get away from them. He just goes off the beaten path and then suddenly he can get home safely.
Yeah.
None of it made sense. Okay, and then the most egregious thing involving the Batmobile was everything to do with Gordon. Because Batman talked to him for like, I don't know, 20 seconds.
Didn't even give him a user manual or anything. He's just
I know. He just said,
drive a stick?
Can you drive a stick? And then I think he said something about the throttle or whatever. And then patted him on the butt and sent him on his way. Like, nothing Gordon did made any sense at all. Because why would he assume that that was what he was supposed to do?
Yeah. And it's not a stick.
No.
Unless it was a USB. Maybe it was a USB drive that he was handing him. But what would have been funnier if he said, instructions are in the glove compartment. And then we just have a moment where Gordon's like, where's the glove compartment?
Yeah. Oh, that would have been good. That would have been really good. And then what would have made the most sense? He could have made that joke. Would have been a great joke. Like everyone would have laughed very hard at that. But he could have just pushed a button and then said the system was like guidance mode, and just was walking Gordon through it. The idea that Gordon was able to intuitively bring that about, nuts. Nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then one, to know that it could jump. And then two, to know that he was supposed to shoot the monorail.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They needed to have a moment where maybe Bruce gave him like a walkie-talkie. Or Alfred was giving him instructions. They needed to connect that. Because that didn't make any sense at all. And it this time around, it pulled me so far out of the movie that I was just like, I don't care. This is so stupid. Because it just doesn't make sense that at this point, a sergeant, I don't know. Yeah, sergeant would have the tactical training to understand an advanced military vehicle.
Yeah.
And use its advanced functions.
Yeah.
Also, there's no way the military would have made like a driver's seat that turns into a turret and then switches back to a driver's seat and then switches back to a like there's
Oh,
no
you don't think so?
no if there's one thing I know about the military, they don't care that much about soldiers.
No, there would be someone just always permanently.
Right. And then I say that with the fact that Lucius Fox makes a joke about that.
What does he say?
He says that a soldier's life is not worth $300,000 a pop or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so the idea that, and also this is Wayne Tech.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to come up with a bunch of things that may be functionally cool that the military wouldn't actually buy. But the problem was he didn't say the military thought it was too fancy. He was just saying the bridge function never worked.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't buy it because they were like, nah, we can't do that.
Yeah.
They didn't buy it because they were like, well, it doesn't do what you said it's supposed to do.
It didn't do the thing.
It didn't do the thing.
Well, maybe we'll talk about that in a second. So I'll hold that thought for off. Something that happened, I think the bigger story that's happening behind the scenes doesn't really make sense. Like
Ra's al Ghul's plan?
Yeah. So, and maybe it's a character thing, but so they want to destroy Gotham. Here's my biggest issue.
Right.
They don't do a good job of explaining why Gotham is the equivalent of the Roman Empire. Right? Because they talk about like, oh, we made this, like historically, we were behind the fall of this, and we did this and we did that. And why is it that Gotham is so important to the world that it needs to be destroyed?
Oh, that's really interesting.
Because they do a lot of things of like why Gotham is important for itself.
Right. Because they do compare it to like Rome and Greece and they make it out to be an empire of sorts, but visually what we're seeing is kind of like a Sodom and Gomorrah kind of thing where it's a cesspool of crime and evil that it needs to be wiped out.
Yeah, and the things that Thomas Wayne was doing, running the corporation, what seemed to be really only affecting Gotham. He was making Gotham a better city.
Right.
And we do see that Wayne Enterprises is sending stuff to other places around the world. So they are doing international business, but we don't see why that's impactful on a big scale.
Gotham never seems successful. Even with Thomas Wayne, because Wayne Enterprises is successful, and if Ra's al Ghul's plan would have been to destroy the empire of Wayne Industries.
Yeah. Because
maybe Wayne Industries was double dipping or something. Bruce stole the shipment of Wayne Enterprise stuff, and it could have been that maybe they were selling weapons to terrorists or weapons to dictators, whatever it may have been, that Wayne Enterprise could have been the heart of what was causing terror around the world under the guise of and it could have been what's his name? Earl. It could have been Earl, like the whole time Earl was doing that, and Thomas Wayne had no clue.
Yeah.
And Bruce had no clue.
They suggest that, like, one, because of Lucius, like his department that he's in, but they suggest that they're starting to get more into the business of military.
But wait, that doesn't make any sense. How is this a new thing? And yet they have all of these military inventions.
Exactly. Like, there's a lot of those things that
that doesn't make any sense.
They have all of these military things that have been retired, but they're just now starting
to go that direction.
To go in the military direction.
Thomas Wayne would never have agreed with it. And it's like, you guys have been doing this for like 15 years. What do you mean?
You have a tank downstairs.
You know how long that R&D would have been?
Yeah.
That would have been 10, 15 years. There's no way that would have been developed in a year or two.
Yeah.
No way.
It's confusing. If they, yeah.
They produced, maybe this is a way to word it. They produced a lot of qualms for the sake of building morality within a character, but the qualms themselves don't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because that military line of we're going down this military thing was just for the one guy to be like, well, Thomas Wayne never would have agreed with this. And then Earl to say, well, Thomas Wayne has been gone for a very long time and we're running this company now.
Mm-hmm.
That was just to give that line.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. That was the whole purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But given all the other things that occur in the movie, that doesn't make any sense. So really. It's a qualm for qualm's sake rather than an actual story building tool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shoot! Yeah, you're right. None of that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. So like that's the type of thing you start pulling the thread and it all starts falling apart.
Let's move on to the character.
Yeah.
Because the big question I have is with the first character.
Yeah. Before we get to that, the last thing I have is I feel like this movie was written based off of, hey, I have this really cool line that I want someone to say. Let's build a scene around that really cool line.
Didn't you get the memo?
Of the things that Alfred, what was that?
Didn't you get the memo?
Yeah. Yeah. But like, there's a lot of things that Alfred says, or even Thomas Wayne having the "why do we fall so we can pick ourselves back up." Like, there's certain things that it feels like, oh, I wrote this line. It's so cool. Okay, let's build this scene around it. And because a lot of those scenes end around the time that it drops and it's this big line. It's like, oh, it's so impactful, and then it goes to the next thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
It's like those movies that they show someone. You infer the context is someone is telling a joke, but you only hear the punchline.
Yeah.
So they kind of get away with never telling the joke, but you just hear the punchline.
Mm-hmm.
That feels like the dramatic version of that.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Christian Bale plays Bruce Wayne / Batman / prisoner number 41216, whatever Zhao Valjean is. All right. Let us remark first on the acting. Here's the tough thing. I think Christian Bale is a really good actor.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that he should play specific characters. One, sassy British people. Have you ever seen Ford versus Ferrari?
Yeah.
He is excellent in that. He is superb.
Yeah.
In that. I love him in that. Matt Damon also needs to play Southern people. Apparently that's like his cup of tea. He also plays kind of that awkward, maybe neurodivergent character. The character he plays in The Big Short, he does a really good job with that. But there's some this is me being really judgy about his face. He's a handsome man. So I'm going to say that outright. He's a handsome guy. But he talks out of the bottom side of his mouth. And when he has his natural English accent, somehow that works. But when he has an American accent, how he's forcing his lips to go to create the articulation of an American accent, there's a lot of extra movement in his mouth that just doesn't, like, it's very distracting. And it comes out even more with the Batman stuff.
Yeah.
I actually don't hate the choice of him doing the, like, gravelly voice.
Swear to me.
That is a great line. Like that.
Yeah.
All of that is very good. When he's talking to Gordon, it's a little weird. We'll talk about it eventually, but I do like the Batfleck version where he has like a voice transformer. But without that, doing the gravelly does make sense, and it is comic accurate.
Yeah.
The comics make lots of jokes about it. So I'm kind of fine with that. He did pretty good as Batman. So, acting as a whole, but let's go ahead and talk about our Batman criteria.
Ooh.
So, Bruce.
So I think this one we have a little bit more of an interesting line that we play. We see a lot more of Bruce, a lot less of Bruce Wayne.
Yes. But also Bruce Wayne is clearly a character.
Yes.
And this is the first time where that feels more blatant than the rest. I do think that existed. I don't know if that existed really in the Michael Keaton version. That did exist in the Val Kilmer version. It was just George Clooney, so it didn't really work there.
There was George Clooney in the George Clooney version.
Yeah, but it was clear that Bruce Wayne was a character. It was a mask, as Rachel put it.
Yeah, which I really liked it's very obvious because we see Alfred tell him, hey, you need to have the life of Playboy billionaire. And he's like, well, what do they do? And he says, well, they buy things that are too expensive and
that are not for sale.
That are not for, yeah.
And then he buys a hotel
for sale, and they like date models or whatever it is that he says. And so he shows up with two ballerinas and he buys a hotel, and he says almost exactly the thing. So he's taking what he has been told and creates this character based off of that. It's not something that's necessarily experience. It's something that is, he's putting on this character.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, he could have bought one. He's supposed to be a billionaire, right?
Yeah.
I just looked up, how much a hotel would cost. And it looks like it would be somewhere around like 150 million. And even in 2005, but for like a billionaire, with how we're now learning Thanks, Elon. How we're now learning that their wealth is all pretend, and that the reason they get to hold on to so much wealth is their value is almost entirely loans. Mm-hmm. The idea that a billionaire would have taken out a loan to get a hotel like that doesn't seem that crazy. Like it seems not only in character, but it seems viable as a choice for him to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, he really took Alfred's words to literal sense and did a bunch of crazy billionaire playboy BS.
Yeah,
but what?
We get that interesting moment where he runs into Rachel.
Right, I was just about to talk about that.
And he breaks character
just immediately.
And he's like wants to tell her like this isn't me.
Yeah,
wanting to tell her this is a character I'm putting it on like this. Like yeah, and he played the character well. Yeah, like he is charming. He is like I'm just gonna spend money however I want. Like he does that
really well. Yeah,
I feel like we missed the scene where Ducard teaches him theater, and he becomes a theater kid for for a scene.
That is very interesting. That is a tenet of the League of Shadows, of the theatrical aspect, but yeah, he never dives into it where he's like everyone has to do a 3-minute piece from Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Or else you get branded with irons.
This season we're doing Cats.
Memory. Anyway, so Bruce Wayne was great. Bruce, I think he acted well. I don't think he was written well. So before we get into that, let's jump into Batman, because I feel Batman's going to be pretty quick, easy to talk about. Mm-hmm. It feels okay.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to really force the detective aspect of it, but it falls short. Because all of his detectiveness is very much, well, yeah, duh. You didn't figure that out. Someone monologued. Mm-hmm. Or you spied on someone. You didn't.
You just happened to be in the right spot at the right time.
Yeah. A lot of his detective work is just overhearing really blatant conversations.
Yeah.
Which maybe is not detective work. That might just be policing. But the Batman kind of is intimidating. It has its moments. The gliding aspect of him is very cool.
Yeah.
That is very cool. Though they do have one shot of him jumping off the building. Oh, after Rachel. Yeah. And he does that and his cape just doesn't do what it's supposed to do. And he looks really stupid for just a split second. Alrighty. Anything else on Batman?
No, I think he's intimidating. There is a level of intensity that like the gravelly voice really does bring.
His interrogation feels very Batman. Mm-hmm. But I don't. I give his Batman like a 6 out of 10. Mm-hmm. I don't really. It's not too comic book accurate, but it's a lot better than some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
Now, Bruce Wayne doesn't make a lick of sense to me. Bruce doesn't really make a lick of sense to me. Mm-hmm. So, our overarching character arc for Bruce is that his parents died.
Mm-hmm.
So sad for Bruce. But I don't understand any of his responses. So, first and foremost, yes, he becomes very rebellious. He gets kicked out of Harvard, whatever school he was going to, Princeton, Yale, one of the Ivy League schools.
Yeah.
He gets kicked out. He's totally cool with it. They don't ever show him as someone who earned the right to go there because of their ability or their talent and intelligence. Mm-hmm. Just simply, he's rich.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that. So we don't really understand who he is, his abilities, whether he's intelligent or not. We don't actually have any indicators for that.
Mm-hmm.
He's rebelling. He is held on to this pain for 9 years. And his response is to kill Joe Chill.
Mm-hmm.
And then he doesn't get to, but watches Joe Chill die. And then his argument with Rachel, I don't understand. I feel like they could have gone from a different angle. And I will explain what I mean by that in a moment. We then go to the League of Shadows. This is, I don't know, 5 years?
Yeah, I think so. From the time that his parents died to when the court is happening, that's 14 years. And then I think it's like another 7 or something.
How the fuck old is he?
He's 30. I think he turns 30 for his birthday.
Oh.
I don't know if they say it or not, but I did the math.
I don't think they said it. And then 2, that's more confusing because when he returns, I think I remember Alfred saying it was basically like his sophomore year. It was his second year there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So he was 22?
Mm-hmm.
23? 23. Mm-hmm. So he didn't start college until he was 20? I'm trying to figure out how smart this kid is, and he doesn't seem that smart. Speaking as someone who also didn't fully start college until he was 20, 21, and no, I was 22. So like, I get it, but I also made stupid decisions. Like I didn't make good decisions. So anyway, with that note, he's now in the League of Shadows. He's 28, probably 29 by the time he's there.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "I'm no executioner." Now, I wrote my note here. What is his motivation? How does he develop his no-kill rule?
Mm-hmm.
Because the line about him not being an executioner is all well and good.
Except for the fact that he tried to kill.
There's no catalyst.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, he was trying to kill him and then didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Bruce would have had a moment in the car where Rachel was there and instead of being an asshole and being like, "I'm not one of your good people, Rachel," but if he was actually like, "I don't know who I am anymore," and then pulled the gun out of like, I wanted to kill him and I was going to. And then she like, maybe she doesn't slap him, but goes like, I don't think your dad would be proud of you in this moment right now. Mm-hmm. And then he like breaks down a little bit or something. Maybe it makes more sense, but they're trying to say in the movie that her slapping him and then her saying your dad would be, what did she say? Would be embarrassed?
Ashamed.
Your father would be ashamed of you. But direction-wise and visually, we get no process of it. Yeah, he throws the gun, but he does, like, we don't see him develop it. I feel like the gun throwing is their way of saying, like, how could I have done that?
Yeah.
That would have been the good moment of showing some of the subway scene or him flashbacking to Thomas saying, like, you know, a lot of people are struggling and our goal is to help people. And then him go, how am I helping people? Like, what am I doing? And then learning from that and then confronting Falcone. Maybe that has more weight, but we're just missing something. There's just not enough weight to topple this into the character development they're hoping for. I might be a little too strict on this, but it just doesn't feel like, if that is the catalyst, that feels like a very weak catalyst.
Yeah, well, and there's also the element of him going, like, living among the criminals and, like, learning that there is a little bit of gray area in between.
Right.
I think that they're also trying to use that, but I agree. It doesn't, there's not an obvious switch.
But they never, they never do any, there's never anything visual or story-wise that gives us that extra umph. It's we're missing the Luke Skywalker seeing his aunt and uncle dead and understanding that he no longer has the thing that all of his hopes, dreams, everything are no longer in this place, that he has to go search for it somewhere else and then can be brought back. And, you know, because from his journey, we have no indicator that he has any intention of returning. So the idea that he never communicates with Alfred, he's declared dead, all of this stuff, he goes out. I don't understand why he runs. Like, maybe there needed to be a little bit of dialogue, a little bit of narrative building to show us he's tried all the things that the world has told him to try, and now he has to try something on his own. And if he would have, like, told Alfred that and then disappeared, I don't think Alfred would have. I think you still get away with the same reaction.
And I think, like, you get he had the intent to shoot Joe Chill,
right?
Which means he was willing to throw everything. Like, he wasn't doing well in school because he wasn't applying himself, I guess.
Right.
And then he comes back and he's like, they're going to let him go, so I'm going to kill him. And so he's willing to throw his life away. And then that gets sidelined by somebody else. And then he gets confronted for what he did. Then he goes to confront Falcone. And
which that is supposed to show, like, Falcone makes a point of it and say, like, you feel like you got nothing to lose. And the reality is, that moment should have been, it's not that I don't have anything to lose. It's showing that I believe what's right is worth risking everything.
Mm-hmm.
So him going there feels counter to whatever the catalyst was to make the no-kill rule, or, you know, throwing the gun. Like, going there feels counter to that. He's not doing anything. He's still risking his life in the same way. He's still risking throwing it all away.
Yeah.
So there isn't... I feel like they're trying to say there's supposed to be a moment of direction and purpose that is impregnating his spirit and leading him to go do these, you know, go live amongst the criminals and go see the world, whatever he's trying to say. But nothing really does that.
To me, the way that I interpreted that was he was willing to throw everything away to kill Joe, and then he confronted Falcone. That didn't work, and so then he was just like, well, there's nothing left for me here, so I'm just gonna leave. But he's wrong. I came here. Falcone literally just said he was wrong. I know, but like, I think that's how I interpreted his leaving Gotham was not to do a journey of self-discovery. It was, there's literally nothing left for me.
Right.
And there's no hope because I'm so blinded by my rage and like by my parents' death. Like, there's literally nothing that I would want to stay here for. So I'm just leaving. I think the Rachel Bruce conversation, that's where it needs to be fixed for me, because we needed a reestablishment of the importance of life and innocence, because he's supposed to be vengeance. That's the whole purpose of Batman. To spark fear into the criminal underbelly. For why? To ensure that the things that occurred to him do not happen again. That's supposed to be what it is. Yeah.
But in our current context, in our current iteration, we're looking at a Batman who has a no-kill rule, who is trying to be vengeance, but we don't ever really have a reason why. Because if you want to say the rage, that I love that idea of the rage inside of him, because if he would have said, not this like petty, angry, woe is me emo Bruce that's like, I'm not one of your good guys, where he says it so condescendingly, but he says like, Rachel, I don't think I can be one of your good guys. I'm so angry. I don't know what to do. And then shows the gun. She can still slap him. She can still do anything. And then she could have said, your father spent his entire life trying to save life, and you were willing to kill 2 people today. Not only were you willing to kill Joe Chill, but you were willing to kill your life. And your father would be ashamed of you. Now we've got an instance of, I spent the last 14 years focused on my parents' death as my death, not realizing that my father's legacy is still something that I can abide in. That is something I can pursue too. I can pursue helping life.
And that would later make the comments about continuing his father's legacy or falling far from the tree or whatever, those like different lines, it would make that more impactful as well.
Right.
Because now we're seeing like, oh, but everything that he's doing now is actually to protect that legacy.
Right.
But in order to do that, he's like kind of publicly coming across the other way. Like, it makes this interesting.
And Ducard is the one who makes the connection between him living within the realm of the criminals and understanding the mind of the criminal. Rather than that as a goal that he has set out for him. Bruce has set out for himself.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, it's a misstep in the writing process. Because you need to make this his motivation. Because if you now have this, I want to avenge the innocent by making sure criminals don't want to commit crime, by striking fear into them. But also, I am not going to be the one to judge those criminals. I am just going to make sure that they end up behind bars. Then that whole, like, well, I'm not an executioner makes so much more sense. But when he says it in his trial, it honestly doesn't make a lot of sense. The only connective tissue is merely him trying to kill Joe Chill, failing, seeing that we don't even have the conversation of, I saw that man die and that rage is still burning inside my chest. It did nothing. So I would have achieved nothing by doing that other than having blood on my hands. There's no conversation of that, even though I think that's what they're trying to infer.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're trying to, like, build into this, but that's not really in the narrative. They just assume you will understand that, even though they haven't done a necessarily good job of building that into the story.
There's a lot of exposition in other ways, but they don't. Yeah, they don't bring that forward.
Bruce has a lot of lacking exposition within his own morale and in his own motivation, and so it makes some of the things he says weightless, but are held down to our place of reality because a lot of us knew Batman. Like, if you know Batman, it makes sense. But if you take away the comics and just use this Batman from this world,
there's something missing there.
Doesn't really make any sense.
Interesting.
Yeah. I every time he had a line about just not killing or whatever it is, it shook me out of the movie because I just couldn't conceive where that came from.
And that does, like you were saying, that feels like something that they very easily could have bridged that gap without really changing much else, but just in that conversation before he leaves Gotham.
Right. It could have just slight reframing of the argument between Rachel and Bruce. All of it would have tied together. But the one that they had in this movie doesn't really make... And it's so funny you say bridge. They spent so much time talking about this goddamn Batmobile that can bridge whatever, and then they couldn't bridge this. No wonder the military didn't buy it.
Bringing it back.
Alrighty. Michael Caine is Alfred. Michael Caine is delightful. His Alfred is great. Seems to really take his job seriously. Continues to... I do like that this Alfred constantly, not too much, but constantly is like, not gonna lie, this is a bad idea. Yeah. Like, he's just constantly like, this is not a good idea. Oh. Okay. My phone was not on silent, and I had to figure out how to do it. But Michael Caine did a really good job. I thought he acted really well. he was really able to lift those one-liners and make them good, even though you're right, the scenes don't necessarily make sense. Oh shoot, I also would have chosen a different line for when he's putting Rachel into the back of the car.
Oh, that scene was weird.
It didn't look good, and the movie does nothing to make it not look good.
Yeah, it feels like they meant for that to be like a what's going on over here kind of scene.
Yeah.
And you didn't need it.
They made the waiters look at him and go, did that guy drug that woman?
Yeah, it's a weird moment that's not funny. Like, it's just like,
it's not funny.
It's awkward.
Yeah.
But I like that Alfred is like, he's the voice of reason.
Yeah.
He's doing all of that, but he's also the guy who's just gonna like make jabs at Bruce. And like, he's kind of in some ways like the most poignant person and also the comic relief. Like,
yeah, that is such a cool character to do, where you can be the one that is legitimately the funniest person in the room, but also the one that carries the wisdom throughout the entire story.
Yeah.
Classic Michael Caine.
He's great.
It's great. Everyone's got a Michael Caine impression, you know?
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. I believe. No, that's Obama.
What?
Anyway. Anything else for Sir Michael Caine? I don't know if he's a sir.
I don't think so.
Alrighty. In this order, Ken Watanabe as Ra's al Ghul. I love Ken Watanabe, and I like him in this character. I think he was underused. And then before we move on to the next person, might as well ask it. Is this a Dread Robert Scott or Dread Pirate Anderson?
Yeah,
P.T.
so here's
Anderson?
the thing. The League of Shadows has been around for a really long time. The message that we're taught is that you need to create something that has a legacy, rather than it's not a person, but it is an idea.
Right.
So my theory is that Ducard is not actually Ra's al Ghul when we first meet him.
Right.
But he becomes Ra's al Ghul.
I agree with that.
He continues to have the guy that looks like Ra's al Ghul to be the face.
Correct. I agree with you. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like this is their grounded way. That was a weird lick thing I did. It's for the MSRP people.
Yeah.
AMSR.
He still
I think that's the grounded way of faking a Lazarus pit. So for those of you who don't know comics, Ra's al Ghul is honestly, the easiest way is he's the leader of the League of Shadows, League of Assassins. He is one of the greatest fighters in the world. He's also low-key one of the biggest gangsters in the world. He just does a lot of crime and then tries to justify his crime by saying, like, but we're trying to make the world better. And he's probably, I don't know, 300 years old. There are a handful of watering holes throughout the world that have a life-saving / regenerative property to them called the Lazarus Pits. And he goes into the Lazarus Pits and he becomes youthful again. Eventually, he runs into Batman and is against his equal, really. Bruce is right up his alley, can hang with him 100%, and Ra's believes that Bruce can be his predecessor, and tries to get him to lead the League of Assassins, League of Shadows. I forget what it's called in the comics. And Bruce is like, nah, no, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And Ra's just gets incensed with trying to get him to replace him, to the point where he like forces or drugs Bruce into consummating with his daughter. So there was a little thing. I do think he did love her, but she's also crazy too. So, but my point in saying that is eventually Ra's gets to the point where the Lazarus Pit it's not killing him, but it's making him go insane. And so the more he uses it, the more insane he gets, and things get crazy. This is creating a Ra's al Ghul that can last hundreds of years. I will ask you this, because I don't want to say my answer first. Do you think they did it successfully?
I think that this character that they've created to be the mentor and kind of the person who trains Batman to be Batman, and in a lot of ways then becomes his equal. I like that character for this version of Batman.
Yeah.
I do not think that this is a good Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul.
I don't think he's a very good villain. And I think kind of in the same sentiment that maybe you're getting at, this is a really good skeleton for a Ra's al Ghul character, for this mentor then becoming villain character, which in Batman comics he has more than one. Truly. But the skeleton of the Ra's character is pretty good. The way they did it in this, I think, falls flat. Because the reality is, and maybe I'm being too snooty about this, talking about their plan that doesn't make a lot of sense. The idea that everything happens and then Ra's plan to destroy Gotham and everything just feels petty. It feels like he's not destroying Gotham for the sake of the goal of the League of Shadows. He's going to raise Gotham because of Bruce. Like, it feels like revenge, not fulfilling his calling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that leads us to Deckard, who is played by Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson, I thought, did an excellent job. He felt like a good leader, very manipulative, very competent in all of his abilities. But there's just dialogue that gets added that adds weird confusion to it all. Like him really obsessed with the idea of Bruce's father, which again, makes his plan revenge, not fulfilling the end goal of the League of Shadows. Like, this doesn't feel like they're trying to cleanse Gotham. It feels like they got beat by Thomas Wayne, and then they somehow paid Joe Chill to kill.
Yeah, when they brought in that element, it was like, okay, this just became super convoluted and confusing.
Wait. What? It destroys the gravity and aura of the League of Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
They just feel like crooks. They just feel like gangsters.
Mm-hmm.
What is the difference between what they're doing and what Falcone was doing?
Mm-hmm.
Not a whole lot.
Literally the same thing.
Yeah. Especially if you're trying to tie in that Thomas Wayne got in the way because he was in fact helping people. This is the reason the line is so weird, is because he makes it seem as though they either paid or threatened Joe Chill to kill the Waynes. And in doing so, they thought their problems were going to be fixed, but the death of the Waynes then brings about even more positive change for Gotham, because he says that their death motivated the city to do better. But also, you never really see evidence of it in the city. The city feels like a hellhole. That's the other thing about what you were saying, where the city just doesn't feel like, they keep making it seem like the center, like a really important city, but then it just feels like it's not. And the only reason it feels important is because these people keep saying it's important.
And that suggests that Gotham was like this big booming city before Thomas Wayne.
Right.
And then they set into motion the economic blah, blah, blah.
And then Thomas Wayne did his stuff of just being a good guy.
So
he's the best guy.
Wayne Industries has nothing to do with the success. Like what Wayne Industries is doing is not the reason why the League is trying to take down Gotham. Gotham was something before then. And at the point that Thomas Wayne does what Thomas Wayne does, that is actually trying to save the city.
Right.
So yeah, it makes it even more confusing of what was Gotham?
You know what? This is probably going to
2 decades before
offend someone, but they probably don't listen to the podcast. Not someone specifically, but a group of people. Mm-hmm. This plan is very much okay, boomer. And I mean that because Ducard talks about Gotham as a place that was something. But from all evidence we see as an audience, it is never that. And so this guy keeps going back to what it was and wants his plan to work out to destroy what was, not what is.
Yeah, which he's like, the reason why Gotham is the way that it is because of what they've done. So they've created the problem.
They did what they were trying to do. He technically accomplished his goal.
They destroyed what Gotham was.
The city is rife with crime. The city is destroying itself within itself. The police have no power. It is crumbling. So their whole plan is just going
it's just taking longer than they expected.
It's just taking a little longer. We need to speed this up. And you know how we're going to speed it up? You know how we're going to speed it up? We're going to make everyone kill each other.
We're going to make everybody go crazy.
And they're going to kill each other. That's the goal. The goal is that they kill each other, and then from that, they can This is literally a far-right conspiracy theory, but someone really trying to enact it. This is the Replacements thing.
This is...
He wants everyone to kill them so they can replace everyone and build a new city. I feel like he just doesn't like the Waynes and he wants to be the Wayne. So if he destroys the city, he can then be... What movie is that? That's another movie. Where... Is that V for Vendetta? No. I don't know. Where essentially the villain is the cause of the problem, but also the solution to the problem.
Yeah.
That's definitely a plot line in V for Vendetta.
That feels like that happens a lot.
But that's what Ducard feels like. His motivation doesn't make any sense. His plan doesn't really make any sense. His motivation would make sense if Gotham reflected what he was describing. But this Gotham cannot be the center of the world and a cesspool. It can't be both. It's one or the other. And if he was doing it strictly because Gotham has gotten so far and you ignore, like they didn't say any of the other shit about how the League of Shadows has been trying to do this for 40 years or whatever, I think it would have made sense.
Yeah.
But they added so much exposition, makes it confusing, and then creates a lot of plot holes that didn't need to be there.
And then like seeking out Bruce and turning him into what would have been their secret weapon. Like it really does feel like it is they're going after the Wayne legacy specifically.
Oh, does that connect the dots? It makes it worse. It makes it more confusing because it's not a good plan. So did they kill Thomas and Martha Wayne strictly to make young Bruce Wayne get so insane that he would then embark on a journey on his own throughout the world?
It seems like a stretch, but I don't know.
But no. But I mean, like, from what you're saying, and if we take the pieces, the extra exposition that they said, it does feel like his plan was Bruce Wayne is going to be the thing that gets us to our end goal.
Yeah, Thomas was what stopped us. Bruce is what will finish it.
But that doesn't make any sense. The only thing that makes sense to that is, I guess, if Ducard somehow got word that Bruce was in there and was like, oh, yeah, but then why did he kill his parents?
I don't know.
There wants to be a connective tissue in there, but nothing connects. It's like you have it's like you have one of those, like a carabiner, and you're trying to like lock it in somewhere, but nothing. There's no loop anywhere, so you're just like, nope, nope, oh no, too big, nope, too small, shit. Like you're just clicking. This movie feels like its plot is just click, trying to find that. And it doesn't work. Okay. I feel like I'm going to get more mad if we keep talking about this. So let's move on.
Yeah.
Rachel Dawes. I thought Rachel was a good character. I thought she was underused. It felt like she was, one, there strictly to be the love interest, and then two, there to be the damsel in distress. And I don't like that because Rachel is written as a strong character.
Right.
But her situations don't give her the room to be that. I thought Katie Holmes did a great job.
Yeah. I also feel like she's supposed to also kind of be the moral compass for Bruce. So that's an interesting element. But yeah, underused. But
she's supposed to be the that not just the moral compass, but the socioeconomical opposite. You know, her mom worked for the Waynes in the house, and
a different perspective.
Yeah, her car is like a beat up. They make sure to emphasize she just has like a rundown car. So, you know, emphasizing the different worlds that they're living in. But yeah, again, she's supposed to be this strong character. but the situations they put her in make her a damsel in distress, even though her character doesn't feel like a damsel in distress.
Yeah.
So underused, misused a little bit. I think they could have done a lot more with her.
Yeah.
Gary Oldman, Jim Gordon. I love Gary Oldman. I think his character is really cool. But they're doing that damn thing where like Gordon is a doof. And objectively, what did Gordon accomplish throughout this movie? A whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. Like the only thing that he was there for, it was like, hey, there's one good cop.
Is he though? Is he? Is he?
Well, I think not.
Is he?
Maybe not good from the perspective of like he does his job well.
Is he?
He's the guy who's not being.
The reason I'm emphasizing that is because he's doing that stupid thing where he's like, I'm no rat. Be a rat. If these people are doing illegal things, your job is to make sure that they don't. Screw the cop code. That doesn't make you a good person. You not ratting out on other cops doesn't elevate you. It makes you the same.
Makes you, yeah.
That's my problem with that. He is no better than everyone else. He just doesn't. Oh yeah, he doesn't like go into the falafel guy's tip jar and take his money. He's also not doing shit about it. He is a bad cop. And I fucking hate it. Ah, God. There's the year one comic from Frank Miller who in this, Gordon is not a good cop. But instead of focusing just on Bruce and Batman, this actually focuses on the moral dilemma of this cop who was good somewhere else transferring to a city that has the most corruption possible and how he has to like balance, I guess, the morals of the cop code or whatever with a police district that is actually very corrupt and honestly somewhere he shouldn't be doing that. And how he has to battle that out. And one of the things he does is he beats the hell out of a corrupt cop. Gordon never has that moment. The other problem was Flash, corruption is possible. At the end of the movie, he's just lazy. He doesn't get arrested. He doesn't get his comeuppance. And then we don't see him in the next one. So we're just assuming he probably got like transferred over to Bloodhaven and is probably doing the same goddamn stuff over there. I want there to be a good cop in a movie. And we've yet to see a good cop. Whether that's reality or not is a conversation for a different podcast. But this idea that we're supposed to think that Jim Gordon is a good cop, even though not only is he a part of the system that is supposed to be defending us and all of this stuff, he is a vital piece in keeping that going because he doesn't want to be a rat. He has evidence. He sees it. He has plenty to report. I'm no rat. You know what I mean? And so the idea that like Batman sees him is like, oh, he's a good cop. It's like, no. This guy helped you when you were a kid. You can still have moments of humanity and be bad at your job and be a bad person. We just don't like, there's not enough to take me out of that. They could have skipped that whole rat line.
Interesting. Yeah.
Honestly, he should have taken a picture without that guy noticing. And we should just be this whole movie. The sub arc for Gordon is him building his case against all of these corrupt cops. And he's like, you want to take out Falcone? You got to take out these cops. There. Now we have not only a good cop, a proactive cop who is trying to clean up not only Gotham, but Gotham PD to ensure that it can do its job.
Yeah. No, that's true. Because we don't see him actively doing something, even if it's like public facing, he's pretending to just go with the flow of things, but in private he's like,
yeah, they could have had that moment. They could have had that moment. Yeah, I don't understand him. Like he's because the exposition is supposed to say he's a good cop, and I'm like, show me where is it? He wants to go against Falcone. You know what? I bet you there's a bunch of cops who don't want Falcone around either that are probably getting paid by him.
Right.
Tough. I don't know. Cillian Murphy, Dr. Jonathan Crane, underused, underdeveloped. Cillian Murphy did a great job. He was really maniacal, kind of creepy. He auditioned for Batman.
That's right.
And not the right build.
No.
Not the right build.
I like how they played with the fear toxin and
yeah, that was really cool.
And Crane. You know what? I just remembered we were talking about effects earlier. I think some of the, like, especially earlier on effects of the fear toxin, like making things crazy, was really good. I think they got a little bit sloppy with it near the end. There were a couple of shots where it was like, that one doesn't look as good.
Yeah.
But I think the idea of him being this therapist who is using, or psychiatrist who's using the fear toxin to like work for Falcone, but he's not actually working for Falcone. He's working for Ra's al Ghul. Like, this whole thing is really interesting. Yeah. And I agree that he should have been more. He should have been the villain. Yeah.
The true villain. It should have been Rage when he was done. That should have been it. That could have been the sequel. And Jonathan Crane then was like, well, then I will take over.
Yeah, he is the he's what happens because of what Ra's al Ghul set in place.
Right. Like you could blame, because then it would have been that great thing of, you know, it's the Gordon says at the end. Escalation. There it is. English second language. Escalation, where, you know, he says, you know, you do this, you put a mask, then you got a clown. You can then say Jonathan Crane or Ra's al Ghul was the first, and then it escalated from there, not Batman. And it kind of lifts the blame from Batman, where you can't really make that argument anymore, which is one of those superhero issues that you can't really do. You know, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, yeah, it's Iron Man's fault. It's all Iron Man's fault. If there was no Iron Man, there wouldn't be half the problems that were occurring.
Yeah.
And this one would have been a really easy way to say, like, oh no, it's not his fault. The first guy was Rage. Like, that was it. And they still could have tied it in of him going, oh, I know what this is. I've had this before. Like, I've had this feeling before. And then he could have told Lucius, like, hey, it comes from this flower. Can you make an antidote from it? Great. That's all the connection you need. Al Ghul, boo-boo, by the way. You know? Anyway. Tom Wilkinson, Carmine Falcone. He was great. He's British.
Yeah.
Which
well, half of these people are British.
Yeah, because
wait, all of them.
Really? Morgan Freeman?
Okay, not Morgan Freeman. Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Michael Caine.
Liam
Neeson, not British. He's Irish, but
yeah, don't make that. That's
Katie Holmes and Morgan Freeman holding down the U.S. front.
That's right. Gary Oldman, English. Cillian, also not English. Cillian is
Irish.
He's Irish. Yeah. Tom Wilkinson. Rutger Hauer, is he English?
He's probably English.
That's a fucking name.
Nope, he's from the Netherlands.
Oh, then never mind. That actually makes perfect sense. I can't get on him about that.
Anyway.
Morgan Freeman, that's the last one we'll talk about.
Yeah, everybody else is.
He did great. I thought he was a good punchline or like giver of punchlines. Mm-hmm. So the didn't you get the memo? Makes no sense at all.
No, it doesn't.
Because the first time we're introduced to the line, Earl says it to him with such conviction and assholery, but no context whatsoever.
Yeah, as if it's a reference to something that already happened.
Comes out of friggin' nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So then him saying it back to him at the end of the movie, Lucius Fox saying it to Earl at the end of the movie, is like, haha, that's great. But why did he say it in the first place, though? We still don't know why. Mm-hmm. Like, it kind of loses its thunder. It doesn't really... It feels
like there should be a scene where, like, Lucius said it to him in a very sincere kind of like, oh, like, this is happening. Like, did you not get the memo? Because blah, 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 blah. And then
Earl takes it as, like, offensive. And then...
Yeah. And then he throws it back at him. I think
that relationship was strained story-wise because everything we get from their relationship is exposition.
Yeah.
We immediately find out that Lucius was put into the basement because Earl didn't like him doing stuff. And then
he used to be on the board. And
then their one interaction makes no sense at all.
Mm-hmm.
The whole idea that Lucius says, oh, that's this device right here. Is what's wrong? Is one missing? And then Earl to be like, you're fired. Didn't you get the memo? Yeah. It's immediately like, wait, why are you firing him?
Almost makes it feel like he is working for the league.
Which, if they would have tied that in,
would have been...
That would have been really good.
That would have been good.
Because then it would have been even more of a... Like, it would have still made the whole plot make no sense.
Right.
But at least you would have said, like, oh, not only have you been working so closely to destroy the Waynes, you're in Wayne Enterprises. Because they make no reference to that whatsoever. It's like, so you did all of that, but you never thought get one of your guys into the board at Wayne Enterprises?
Yeah.
Dumb.
Also, something that's dumb is how is Batman not easily traced back to Bruce Wayne when all of his tech is Wayne tech?
Yeah, that's a rough one.
You see a big prototype tank driving down the road, and you're like,
And no one at Wayne Enterprises R&D was like,
we made that.
Isn't that the? Hey, Carl, isn't that the tank you invented?
Yeah, but this time it's black.
It's like in Tommy Boy, he's like, oh, look at this guy on TV. He's like, oh, I buy brakes from that guy. If this feels like, look at this tank. Oh, I invented that. Wait, why is that all the?
Yeah. Morgan Freeman, Lucius Fox. Good. There's issues around his story, but like him was good.
Yeah. Little token wise old black man sometimes, but he's fun. All these lines suck. I don't know. Then the least voted one is your father would be very proud of you, just like me.
All right.
All right, now we're into the review rewind where we take a look at a positive review, negative review, we see where we fall. Metacritic gave it a 70. Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 85%. Rotten Tomato audience gave it a 94%. And IMDb audience gave it an 8.2%. Tristan, why don't you give us that positive review?
Hey, our friends at the Chicago Sun-Times are back. And they gave it a 100. This is the Batman movie I've been waiting for. More correctly, this is the movie I did not realize I was waiting for because I didn't realize that more emphasis on story and character and less emphasis on high-tech action was just what was needed. The movie works dramatically in addition to being an entertainment. There's something to it.
Is that a jab at like X-Men and Spider-Man? Because those are the only ones that I think would have really been coming out at that time. Maybe Fantastic Four. Maybe the first Fantastic Four came out around that time. I think it may have came out after.
I thought it was, I don't know. No, it was before.
Was
it like 2003 or something?
Nope, same year, 2005.
Oh, same year?
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's wild. What month? July, after Batman.
Really?
Oh, that would have been a blow to Marvel.
Interesting, yeah.
Just be like, yeah, we got the Fantastic. Check out the Fantastic Four. It's like, oh, I saw that Batman movie. This one's gonna be great. Then you watch, you're like, woof.
Never mind.
Woof. Yeah. Dallas Observer gave Batman Begins a 40. Even if there were a great movie here, it would have been undermined by two lead actors who are barely even there. Asked to deliver lines they can't handle, Bale, playing the Batman with clipped wings, and Katie Holmes as an assistant district attorney who doesn't even have the gravitas to pass as an intern. Come back, Alicia Silverstone, all is forgiven. Wrong.
Whoa.
Wrong. That is sinful.
Yeah, not forgiven.
Not forgiven. Alicia Silverstone is garbage in that movie. Katie Holmes, yeah, I think this person's sexist. Because, like, yeah, I think Katie Holmes might be small in stature, but I don't actually think her character was small. Or felt that. I felt like her attitude was adequate and her, gravitas was adequate. Like,
if anything, it was the writing of the character that fell flat.
Yeah. And then Bale, Bruce was weird. Like, Bruce was written weird. His Bruce Wayne was spot on, and his Batman was okay. So I don't necessarily see. This feels rude.
Yeah. All right, anyway. Dallas, get out of here.
I know. Texas.
Okay, Mike, here's the big question. What do we give it?
I think I give it a B. Because, like, take the over-analyzing out of it. it's still a fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
It tells an interesting story, even if it does have a lot of plot holes.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not looking for those things, I don't know if you'll find them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you just turn that part of your brain off, I think you can get through the movie without seeing the plot holes.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of what we do in this podcast is maybe take things apart too much.
Right.
But I think compared to...
Like, I think this is better than Batman Returns.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think the ones that we watched previously, where it was like, you don't have to think too hard to start seeing the holes. This one, you actually have to tug a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
but it's visually really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Christian Bale does a bad performance.
No.
And I think Katie Holmes does well as well. And I think Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman are a welcomed addition to movies that have treated their characters or their archetypes kind of poorly. It was good to see Alfred not a dud, to really be involved in the process, and for them to have someone who advances them along like Lucius does.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Makes the movie better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I give it a B.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree.
You know what? So do I.
Hey. Cool.
Hey, Tristan, thanks for watching this movie with me.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Do you like this bit where I thank you for saying it, for watching the movie with me? And audience, thank you for listening. We really appreciate you taking the time with us because this was long. And if you disagree with our ideas, you can write a letter to Review Rewind at 123 Up Your Butt, Los Angeles, California.
I should have said this earlier. This movie should have been 20 minutes shorter.
Yes. Oh, God, yeah. All right. And remember, review those rewinds. We'll see you next time. Bye.